8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Champions! Wrexham are promoted. They have their storybook ending.
You can walk through the fire. You can walk through the fire. When it's down to the wire. You can walk through the fire.
Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the Wrexham Texan Dallas edition. I'm in the guest room at my parents' house in Texas at the moment. We are here for March Madness, which me and my brother talk about that here in a little while when he comes on the show. But yeah, just want to talk about the game. I think Australian Adrian has said it best. Let me try to get him up on screen real quick. Here, come on, get on there. There we go. Said, hangovers just seem to disappear when waking up after a win up the town. He's very correct. I mean, that game yesterday was ridiculous. It was utter domination from the very beginning. It's been a very long time from what I can remember, which I could be wrong about this, but I forgot the feeling of going up early and having it basically in hand the entire game. It was a different feeling. At first, it was unsettling. It wasn't. I still felt nervous until we got that second goal because I just thought, man, we could really blow this even still. So getting the second goal was fantastic. In fact, let's freaking watch these goals. I have just some quick highlights from some folks. Hang on one second. Sorry. I am not at my normal station, so it's a little different for me today. Here we go. This is the first Andy Cannon goal.
The ball is Luke Bolton. Short to Tom O'Connor. Who tries to open the ball onto his left foot. Overran it in the end. Andy Cannon, next man to challenge. Cannon running towards the edge of penalty area. Gets onto his right foot, hits it low. It's in. Andy Cannon from distance.
What
fantastic
a
start for Wrexham.
shot. What a shot.
5 minutes on the clock. Andy Cannon.
The Lion King himself. And then, not too much later, maybe one of the best goals of the season. In fact, Rob Ryan Red said goal of the season, if not what is. This whole sequence was textbook. It was phenomenal. So here we go.
Holohan takes over on the left-hand side. Low across the edge of the box. Paul Mullin did
Look
really
at
well
that
to put his body in the way there.
Paul Mullin. And then he went and got the ball. Two more moves.
Paul Mullin dancing away with it. He's got Tom O'Connor joining on the right hand
Mullin
side.
made that play
Andy
happen.
Cannon's joined the attack in the middle as well. And Elliot Lee's on the far side if O'Connor can find him. O'Connor into the penalty area. Andy Cannon,
One-timer
goal!
into
Brilliant
the
attacking
corner.
football by
I
Wrexham.
mean, come
Absolutely
on.
fantastic. It all started with a strong challenge by Elliot Lee in the
Come
middle.
on.
Paul Mullin came away with the ball. Tom O'Connor joined the
What a play. And it all started with Mullin getting those two three moves. I mean, he stole the ball, flicked it backwards, and then made his way around two other players. I mean, it was just pure beauty. And then here's Mullin getting his final goal. Or getting the final goal.
Luke Bolton takes onto his right foot, little back heel to Cannon. Andy Cannon now skips inside and finds Max Cleworth. Lined up for the cross, whips across 6-yard box. Palms clearance isn't convincing, it hits Malarkey, then Mullin hits it! And it's 3-0 to Wrexham! And Paul Mullin rolls up his shirt. Signals to the Grimsby.
Oh my gosh. It just nothing but joy yesterday during that game. Had no moments where I thought, oh, we might lose. I guess there was a slight chance of us blowing it at the very end. We let them get a little too close to getting a couple more goals. But overall, I mean, how can you complain about yesterday? It was fantastic. It was so much fun. I mean, I had a blast watching that one. I'm not going to go over the stats today. Y'all know Andy Cannon, Paul Mullin. That was what happened. My prediction had been, I think I predicted 3-0. I might have predicted 3-1, but I predicted Palmer getting 2 goals and Mullin getting 1. I was wrong about the people, or one of the people, but I got the score pretty dang close, if not perfect. So, what a game! What a match! I am excited about where we're going to end up in the table. I still think we have a chance to win the league. We'll get to some of the predictions later on, but I do need to give my prediction for our next match, which I forgot to do in the interview with Matthew. So this Friday, it's a Friday game at 10 a.m. We play Mansfield, 10 a.m. Eastern. So that would be what? Daylight savings. Is it? Oh, 10 a.m. Central. So it would be, geez, what would that be? 5? Is that 5 o'clock y'all's time? Man, I don't even freaking know anymore. Daylight savings just messes everything up. Screw daylight saving. Let's see. So yeah, we play Mansfield. It's at home, which is great, but Mansfield is the best in the league. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. Yeah, I think 2-2 draw. I think Mullin gets one, and I think Fletcher gets one. Mullin and Fletcher, but I think they end up scoring 2 as well. They're just very good, and they have the best away record. If we can get our goals in, I think we'll be fine. The issue is going to be that I think they will 100% score on us. So 2-2 is my prediction. So there you have it. All right, y'all. My brother is back on this podcast. I'm in Dallas. He's right in the other room. We've been watching March Madness, which we talk about here in a bit. So yeah, let's get to the interview. Matt Green, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Sorry, I got a bit of allergies, so if I cough,
that's okay.
Ignore it.
That's okay. And just so y'all know, if you're watching this, we're actually in the same room. See, that's my hand in front of his camera.
That's true.
So yeah, he's literally right there. Well, dude, first off, what is your shirt? For those who are just listening, it says, "I'll make it."
It's my dad got it for me. He got us both one. And we went to the Hoosiers gym in Indiana where they filmed the film Hoosiers. And it's a classic line for the movie, the best scene. At the end of the last game, it's tied, and they need to score to win the championship, the state championship. And the coach looks around, he's like, "All right, Jimmy, the best player, you're going to be a decoy, and we're going to give it to Merle coming around on the picket fence." And everybody just looks around like, no. And he's like, what's wrong? What's the matter with you guys? And Jimmy just looks at me. He's like, "I'll make it." And he's like, all right, spread the floor, give it to Jimmy. And he makes it, and they win.
It's great. It's yeah, you got to go watch Hoosiers. It's a classic here
It's a good one.
in the States, especially in our household.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the dadgum? I forgot the name of the actor. The funny dude.
Dennis Hopper?
Dennis freaking Hopper. And then it's Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people that you've never heard of.
Yeah. Although you'll recognize a few people, like the first coach.
Mm.
He's like in Rudy and
Yeah.
and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Well, the reason neither of us are wearing our respective football teams is because it is March Madness right now. It is the first weekend of March Madness. It's basically our biggest family holiday where no matter what, we all come back to Dallas and get together and watch the first 4 days, which is basically from 11 a.m. until almost midnight of just pure basketball.
4 straight days.
4 straight days of pure basketball. And so generally we wear basketball shirts. Our Aggies are playing today or tonight. And we could knock off a number 1 seed.
Or we could not.
Or we could not.
I'm happy with where we're at. 1 win. You know? If
Yeah.
you'd offered me that a month ago, I would have taken it. So
Yeah, we barely eked into the tournament. We only got in because we beat a team in the conference tournament prior to this one. So we barely made it. In fact, I think it was a bit of a shock that we made it. Yeah. It is funny though. Last time you were on, we were talking about the FA Cup and how it could possibly be improved.
Yeah.
And here we are. It's March Madness, and it's literally how we would want it to be improved.
Yeah. No, I know. I almost printed out the final 64 teams of the FA Cup and put them up on the bracket board to show everyone what you're missing out on, what it could be.
Right. And here, So I mean, this is basically
treat.
what it looks like. It would be a delight. So out here on the edges, obviously, are all the 64 teams that made it to the tournament, and then, it's just like any other
I
tournament.
mean, each play in a condensed schedule, and it's just Armageddon in the best way.
Yeah. So every single one of these 32 games gets played in 2 days. Here for March Madness, and then the next round gets played in 2 days as well, and then you take 5 days off. No, 3 days off. 3 days off, and then you do it all over again with the next 2 rounds, and 3 days off, and you do it all over again with the final 4 and the championship game.
Like, you look at the FA Cup right now, you have Coventry, championship team, made it to the semifinals, but it just doesn't get the viewership because it's just on some random Saturday, and Premier League's on, and all the leagues are on.
Yeah.
And if you just stopped it and just did the FA Cup, you'd still be able to finish the schedules on time. You'd make the FA Cup so much fun and better. And like that Coventry run to the semifinals, what a story that would be.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. And it still is cool. Like I watched all the games, but
it still is cool,
could be
but
more
like
fun.
having it be so much in like one shorter time frame, people like interest ebbs and flows over time.
Yeah.
And like if you span it out over months, there are going to be people who drop off or forget about the game or like don't, who lose track of it or have other conflicts. This way, everybody who really wants to could just take off for a couple days, which is what we did. I mean, our parents used to pull us out of school for the first 2 days of March Madness, which was always a Thursday, Friday. And I guess, they would almost always. Yeah, we were basically given a free pass to skip school the first 2 days of March Madness. And then for the next week, when the games are being played again, we would just take our phones in or computers or whatever.
Basically.
That was back before you could stream on your phone.
Yeah. It was, you could stream on the computers. We streamed on the computers at school a couple times.
Yeah.
I remember after 9/11, they not to change the subject, but after 9/11, the games weren't on CBS that next year because the U.S. Army had just gone into Iraq, and so they weren't on CBS, and so we couldn't get it at school anymore because we only had the antennas. The games were on ESPN, and I went to Patrick Todd's house after school.
Yeah,
and I remember very specifically. I don't know why I remember this so much, but we sat down to watch the games. And because they got switched over to ESPN kind of at the last minute, it said ESPN was showing like billiards or something.
Okay.
But we knew it was switched over to ESPN. And P. Todd, as he flipped there, he's like, billiards? I doubt it. And he flipped over there and it was basketball. I don't know why I remember that, but it sticks out in my brain very profoundly.
That's a funny one.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
I was looking for a plug for the phone, but it's all good. Doesn't matter.
The other thing I was going to say, just finally about the FA Cup, and then we can move on from it.
Yeah.
It's better for the neutral, too, just to have it all together. Because if your team's backed out, am I going to tune into the FA Cup 2 weeks later when, like, Premier League's going on and all that stuff? Probably not. Yeah. But, like, if it's all right there together, it's just better for the neutral. You build the storylines, and I don't know. I just feel like it's more fun. Like, even my teams aren't in March Madness. Still a blast, Yeah. It arguably is even more fun because you don't have to get upset when your team loses.
Yeah, very true. I do like that, and I just think it would be more of a spectacle, more of an event. I think far more people would tune into it. I think it would get a bigger following because like it's the same with like me and just losing sports teams over the years because I run out of time and energy to do so. But I can focus all my energy for 3 weeks
Yeah.
on March
And not only
Madness.
that, but like finding out, okay, when's the next game? What channel is it on? Like, how can I watch it? Those are the hardest things to figure out now because there's 80 streaming platforms.
Yeah.
And like, when is it going to be? Is it on Fridays, on Saturdays, and on Sundays, and on Monday? What channel? Exactly what time? Like, what commitments? You know, what other stuff is on? It's just like a pain. But if it was the only thing on, anyways, we don't have to keep rehashing this.
No, I think it should be rehashed repeatedly. It's not like we have an insane number of viewers who have just been watching this since day one.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I have no problem with talking about this. All right. Well, for those who watched the last episode that Matthew came on, you'll know that he's a West Ham supporter.
Technically, it's supposed to be like this.
Fair. I get it. Y'all are 7th in the Premier League at the moment.
Hanging in there, that -4 goal difference.
What's been like the challenge from trying to get into that top 4 or 5?
The teams have twice the money we do, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it. We went through a very rough stretch there in January. We had Mohamed Kudus, our new Ghanaian winger, who's awesome. He was in the African Cup of Nations. He was scoring for fun too. I think he had 3 goals for Ghana, even though they didn't advance. So we missed him for a few weeks, and then Lucas Paquetá, probably our best player on a game-to-game basis. He starts for the Brazilian national team. He was hurt as well, and missing those 2 guys, that's feels like 60% of our attack, and so we just couldn't hang. But they're back. We won Europa League. We lost the first leg 1-0, won the second leg 5-0, which is awesome.
Jeez.
And yeah, so it's just been up and down, but we really missed them. You see the Arsenal 6-0 result. That was the low point. We beat them at their place though, so what do I care? You know, I'll take 3 points out of 6 against Arsenal.
This stretch looks brutal.
That was where we were missing everybody. It was Paquetá came back for the Brentford game.
Oh, nice. And then y'all started winning again.
Yeah, and we had the Europa League win in there. So the Europa League's been fun, and now we got matched up with Bayer Leverkusen, who, if nobody's following the German league, they have not lost a game all year in any competition. I believe they're 39-0-6 or 32-0-6, something like that.
Wow.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, we've Wrexham has had a couple rough stretches.
That's how soccer goes, man. It just kind of ebbs and flows, and it's like any other sport. Like, you look at American football and like the 49ers this year, they lost 3 straight games.
Yeah.
They still ended up making the Super Bowl because it's how can you adjust? How good is your manager, really?
Yeah.
And how strong is the team mentally to come out of those? Because everybody's going to have down periods, whether it's injuries, whether the ball's just not breaking right.
Yeah.
And I get the Wrexham updates on my phone, and there were like 4 straight games. I was like, they can't win. And I don't watch them, but
yeah, they're mostly away
what
games.
was going wrong in those ones?
We're terrible away, and I looked into it, and a lot of people have talked about it on different podcasts, but it's not a new thing. So apparently we've been terrible away for a very long time, even before Parky. So I don't know what it is about the Wrexham mindset when playing at somebody else's stadium, but it doesn't work. And Parky, during the middle of the season, when we were going through the rough patch, was experimenting with a bunch of different lineups and a bunch of different players starting. So like we signed on Jack Marriott and Luke Bolton from higher leagues. And they were just kind of coming into it and trying to find their groove with the team.
Mm-hmm.
But it just it
was my daughter, if you could hear that.
Yeah. And I don't know. So many people were calling for Parky's head, which is just so stupid.
Yeah.
The one thing that was consistent, I will say, is people demanding Ollie Palmer and Paul Mullin start the games. As soon as that, so I don't know if you heard me talking about this the other day, but in games where Ollie Palmer has started this year, we're undefeated. And in games where he hasn't, we've lost like 12 games.
Crazy.
Yeah. And we've drawn a bunch in both categories, but we've won way more when he's started. Even though he's not always the one scoring, he's not like the flashiest.
He's a hard worker.
He's a hard worker. And he the thing is he pulls defenders away from Mullin. So
he puts in a shift, as they say.
He puts in a shift. Yeah. And
every time I've watched Wrexham, he's been my favorite player. I love guys that have a good amount of skill.
Yeah.
But they got where they are just because they're willing to work their absolute butts off.
Yeah.
I love that. That's like my favorite West Ham players. Of course, Declan Rice, but he has so much skill too that it's kind of unfair to say. But now we have Edson Alvarez, who's big for the Mexican national team, and he just puts in a shift.
Nice.
I mean, not the most skill in the world, but I love those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely get that. Like, Mullin is our most technically skilled player. He's not even close to my favorite player, though.
Yeah. It's those aren't the players you remember. Like, like we used to have Dimitri Payet, who's world class.
Yeah.
World class midfielder. And obviously I remember his goals and things, but like when you look at the heart of who West Ham is, or are, as the British would say, it's it's Mark Noble, and it's the guys who got there because, as Michael Bradley used to say about soccer, it's the team that's going to win is the team that's willing to suffer more throughout the game.
Yeah.
When your lungs are burning and you literally can't go one more inch, you're willing to make that run to save to make a tackle, to get in behind the defense. Those are the guys I remember. The guys who their jersey, their shirt, whatever, all these terms. It's so hard to remember. At the end of the game is just absolutely drenched with sweat. You think it rained,
Well, that's the weird thing, though. Like, Paul Mullin hustles. You see him running everywhere, and he'll, even when he knows the goalie's going to get the ball, he sprints after it.
Well, the thing about Mullin, much like Messi and Ronaldo, is I know they're not asking him to do a lot of defensive work.
Yeah, well, that's
so true. And that's not like, I'm not saying he's lazy because of that. I'm saying that's what you want. You want him to keep his energy for the offense. So he's not necessarily that type of guy like Ollie Palmer that you would expect to be throwing his body into tackles, around your own box and things like that.
Right, I got you. Yeah. My favorite player for a while has been Elliot Lee. Andy Cannon is making a run for it. He might become the Texan of the year.
I love it. So off topic, but I was looking through I went to one West Ham game in my life, when we were in London.
Yeah.
We played Norwich, and I found the program the other day while I was cleaning out some stuff.
Nice.
And Elliot Lee is listed on our match day squad. He was on the bench.
Nice.
So I thought you'd like that.
That is sweet.
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
What a weird world.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So West Ham and Wrexham have at least one tie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a few more that I don't know of.
Yeah, I'm sure. Players get moved around a lot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been kind of starting to turn around. He started, Parky began putting Palmer back in the starting lineup recently, which has been great. It's been paying off big time. I mean, we won yesterday.
Yeah.
Fantastic game, 3-1. Mullin got almost bicycle kick. Then Cannon just like rammed two in from very far out.
Do they have any? Surely there's an Andy Cannon song by now.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
I actually commented on that to Nikki during the game yesterday. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder what Andy Cannon's song is because I'm not there, so I don't get to hear any of his chants.
I need a site that has every team listed and has their songs up there, and like it does that. Nobody has to be singing it, but just like they're all to some nursery rhyme tune.
Yeah.
So just put whatever the tune is up there. But what a great site! I could just go through and laugh for hours about
The thing is, it couldn't be tied to some business because of how egregious some of the chants are.
I won't sing the Adam Johnson pedophile chant on your stream, but
exactly.
yeah.
So it would have to be some independent person, somebody out there, who compiled at least start with a few teams and built like work your way, like expand.
You start with the big teams,
yeah. But I've always thought that like there's so many chants that Wrexham does that I don't know because I'm not there.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna sing it for me over the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess some people might, but
and when I'm watching the games, like even West Ham games, they'll come up with a new song. I just can't understand what they're saying because they're Cockney,
right?
And they're British,
and it's a bunch of people singing.
And it's
together.
a bunch of people singing, and quickly, and sometimes words you don't know because you're not British.
Yep.
And but like I want to know the songs, and some of them you get. Like we had Pablo Fornals. He eats paella. He drinks Estrella because he's from Spain. So like that was easy enough.
Yeah.
But,
how many chants are just stereotypical garbage that is just like right down the middle?
Those are the best ones though, because it's like you're singing the song because you love the guy. It's you're not. Occasionally, I'm sure there have been some where there's been a genuinely like racist chants, which you don't want.
Yeah.
But like he's Spanish, he probably does eat paella. I don't know.
And if he doesn't drink Estrella, he's incorrect.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good.
It's a good one.
So, yeah, I think that's a good side idea for someone out there. It's free business advice. You could definitely get some people to advertise on that site.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. Let's look at West Ham's
upcoming
fixtures coming up.
Yeah. Newcastle next weekend.
There we go. We
got
got
a tough stretch coming up.
Yeah, you got Newcastle,
Spurs,
Tottenham, Wolves, Leverkusen.
Yeah, we got Fulham who beat us. My friend Patrick Todd was at the game. They beat us 5-1 earlier this year. And so that's not an easy game. And Spurs, Newcastle, right in the span of 4 days.
Yeah.
Brutal. Leverkusen. It's a tough stretch, so this is going to test our mettle for sure. We're pretty healthy right now, though.
Okay.
I just hope everyone stays fit after Paquetá played. I think a full 90 yesterday for Brazil against England in a friendly, which I hate. Jeez. I hate watching my guys play full 90 in a friendly. Like if it's World Cup qualifying, whatever, I totally get it. But
what are your odds of getting in the top 5?
Top 5, almost 0.
Really?
We're going for 6th. 6th gets us Europa League. 7th gets us Conference League. Could we get top 5? Yeah, but again, we have a tough stretch coming up. Sorry. We're playing Europa League still. We don't have a super deep squad.
Yeah.
So if we got 7th, I would be stunned because right now, if you look at it,
Brighton, 9 points behind Tottenham. So
yeah, and Brighton are only 2 points back from us with a game in hand. So even hanging on to 7th isn't going to be easy.
Right.
So honestly, I'd take 7th. The 4th straight year of European football for West Ham United. Like what a absolute dream. So I would take 7th right now, though. I think we can catch Man United. They stink, So
yeah, they do.
I think
Okay.
Their old boy's getting fired after the year. Ten Hag, I think he's
Interesting.
done.
So a while ago, one of your friends' families had talked about purchasing a football team over in the UK.
Yeah.
May I present the football team you should acquire? Accrington Stanley. It's for sale right now.
It's a good one.
Yeah, they
Good logo.
their idiot of an owner.
Or badge, whatever.
I don't even want to say his dumb name. After this 4-0,
Mr. Stanley, obviously.
after Mr. Stanley for sure. After this 4-0 defeat at Wrexham, he fired his coach who'd been working there for 25 years.
Yikes.
Just fired him in the most disrespectful way possible. So, and he's been trying to shop around Accrington Stanley. So, just a thought, if your friends.
What's the price right now?
That's a good question.
Look it up real fast.
Yeah.
See what the estimated price of Accrington Stanley is. Maybe we can
Estimated
get something going.
price of buying Accrington Stanley. Let's see. I don't. How do you even search for this?
That's tough.
That's going to be a tough one.
Well, you can look at what didn't Wigan just sell a couple years ago? You could look at the price of what Wigan sold for. Wigan, they're slightly bigger too, so I bet you could get.
Here we go. He announced it was up for sale. Let's see.
The Wham Stadium.
Yeah, it's the Wham Stadium. It's terrible.
That's awesome. That makes me want it.
It's up for sale. I won't let the club fail, but I'm done. He's such a turd, dude.
Give me a price.
It looked like at one point they were 1.2 million in debt.
Yeah, he said he cleared those debts.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if down at the bottom it would give an estimation.
Oh, apparently not.
I guess not. How big is this club, I wonder?
I bet you could get that club for under. I bet you could get that club for under 30 million pounds. For yeah, I bet you could.
Interesting. Yeah, I just want to know what the cost is.
Yeah.
Because what is he asking for? I mean, he's such a turd. Oh my gosh.
He looks like a turd.
Yeah.
Andy Holt.
Yeah. Yeah. This is. Hang on. I had another article get pulled up. There we go. There he is.
Turd.
Due to October of that year, that was the one he cleared. Yeah.
Just somebody estimate. Like literally, I just want an estimate. Is it 2 million? Is it 60?
Yeah.
Just
It's a good
throw a
question.
number out there.
It's a good question. But either way, it'd be pretty funny if your friends bought Accrington Stanley.
Hey, I would. That'd be a fun job. Go. I wouldn't manage them, but I'd be the.
You'd be the kit man.
I'd be more than the kit man. I'd be the, as we call it over here. I think it's over there. It's a technical director. No, that's the technical director manages the staff. Whatever the director of football. Yeah, that's like the I go out and find players.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the job.
That'd be fun.
That'd be sweet.
Let's see. Wrexham. So this will be the end of the podcast. Let me get over to where we are.
Wide-ranging conversation today.
Heck yeah. Why not? So Wrexham right now is number 3.
I have been wondering about this. Oh, they're in good shape.
Oh, we're in great shape.
Game in hand, 3 points up on Don's.
Yep.
Way better goal difference.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Let me see their upcoming and kind of where everybody is.
Uh-huh.
Mansfield, Doncaster. I was Doncaster and football manager for a long time.
Nice.
Colchester, Crawley.
So yeah, these are the rest of our games right there. That's it.
Show me where everybody is in the table.
I gotta hop back and forth.
That's fine. These people are okay. Oh, Mansfield's top.
Yeah, Mansfield's best in the league.
Forest Green's going now? I like Forest Green.
Forest Green and Sutton are gonna go down almost definitely,
Might
unless
name my next
Colchester.
kid Forest Green.
So we play Colchester. We play Doncaster.
That's Parkey took them up back in the day, right?
Yeah. We play Doncaster, Colchester. We play Crawley and Forest Green.
Ooh, that's nice.
And then we play Crewe and Stockport. So Crewe is back up here.
Crew's good, yeah. Crewe
And
has
then Stockport.
a really good youth system.
Our final match is at home versus Stockport.
That could be fun. Hopefully you'll both be up and it'll just be a party.
Hopefully. What I really want is for Mansfield to drop a few points and Wrexham Stockport be the final game to see
win
who
the league.
wins the league.
Yeah, especially if you're already promoted, like both of you.
Yeah.
You know, just one final game to win the league, but there's really no downside if you lose.
Yeah.
I think I do kind of hate that sometimes about soccer is getting promoted, like especially in the lower leagues, and getting promoted, there's barely any upside to winning the league as opposed to getting second. I really hate that. I think I prefer if just the top is automatically promoted, and then maybe second and three have a really easy path. Like they're already in the semifinals, or you almost have two separate brackets where they're in the final and you have kind of two separate finals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so I would like that a lot. I think that would be better because you get to the end of the year, it's like who cares if you win the league or not? You're going up. You know, whether you're third or first, it's the same result.
True. I would still want to win the league.
I know, I get it, and you want to win it, but it's like if I'm fourth and on the last day, you know, I pull out a miracle and I get third on goal difference, I'm just as happy as the team that won the league that day.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's my issue with it. But
it's a small issue to have though, because like the relegation promotion fixes all the other issues with a regular league here in the States.
no, for sure. But I just think that small little improvement where you could. I feel like those are just easy little things to do. Like, you have to win the league to get automatically promoted. And you're going to have a good chance otherwise, you know, in a final or whatever. Like, you're automatically, you know, one game playoff. Like, you can even do the 2 versus the 3 play a game, and the winner gets promoted. And it's at the home stadium of the 2 seed.
Right.
And so then it's one game and then the 3 goes down and plays in the tournament.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
It'd be make it more interesting for sure, and it would give you something to fight for at the end.
Right.
But yeah. Well, dude.
Yeah.
We don't have all the time in the world this morning.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming back on.
Yeah, no, it was
this
fun.
is great.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
We're gonna have. Yeah, I know we said this last time. We're gonna have to do this like virtually at some point. To where we can do it when we're not in the same place.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, WXM the Wrexham Texan, and go subscribe to my Rumble channel, Wrexham Texan, because my YouTube channel is not long for this world. And go follow me over there. You can come back again next week at noon Eastern for more Wrexham Texan. Until then, up the town.
You search my soul with all your heart, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. And if you knock my soul with all your strength, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it.